Hi, my name is Dennis Siri. I am Executive Director and founder of the New York City Independent Film Festival, Independent in Spirit, International at Heart, and this is the New York City Independent Film Festival Meet the Filmmakers podcast. Join us while we meet this year's filmmakers. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, this episode we're here with Abigail Rhyne from the Globe Trotters, the film The Globe Trotters. Welcome, Abigail. Tell us about yourself.
Hey. Yeah, my name is Abigail Rhyne. My pronouns are she, her. I am a actress and filmmaker based in Brooklyn, New York, but I am a Southern girl at heart, born and raised. I'm a graduate of Sarah Lawrence College. I studied filmmaking and theater and a little bit of politics and psychology there as well. And I am also a co-founder of a production company called Superposition House, and Globe Trotters was made under that company. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay, great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. So, what made you want to be a filmmaker?
Mm, really, honestly, the pandemic did. I've been an actress for like over half my life now. And then COVID hit, and obviously I wasn't doing any of that. And after, the months kept going by and I realized this wasn't going to be over anytime soon, I decided to start producing my own work. And that's how I got into filmmaking. And I worked on a short film and I made a web series. And I discovered that I really liked directing and producing and dabbling in some writing as well. And it was really exciting. And that's kind of how I found that path. And that's how I decided to pursue that in school over just acting.
Okay, well, that's good. I guess in some ways you already answered. How long have you been doing it? This is my next question. Was
Yeah,
you
I guess however long ago COVID really hit, I guess I would consider like I've taken it seriously for probably 3 years or so.
Mhm. And what did your family and friends say when you said, "Hi, I'm going to be a filmmaker now"? They say, "Become an accountant, go get a real job." How did that work out?
No, actually, I'm very lucky to have a very supportive family. Like I said, I was already an actor, so going into filmmaking wasn't too far of a step. And they were very supportive, and they really, when I started making my own projects, a lot of people jumped in to help me out, by giving me spaces to shoot in and lending me equipment and helping out in any way they could. And a lot of my friends are artists and filmmakers themselves, so I was already learning from them, and so they were just excited to cheer me on. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have a very supportive group of people around me.
Well, my next question was going to be, do you have a tribe of people? But you kind of answered that already. You have your
Yeah, yeah.
filmmaker tribe.
Yes, I really do. And I have, like I mentioned earlier, I have a startup company called Superposition House, which is a production company, and it's run with two of my very good friends that I met in school. And all of us are filmmakers, and so we're all very supportive of each other and always collaborating and making new stuff.
That's great. Okay, what made you want to make this film?
Yes. It was during COVID, and I came across an article about people who weren't able to fulfill their last wishes in life because of the pandemic and because of lockdown. And that was something that I'm fortunate to have not had to think about before. And I just was really taken by the idea. And honestly, I didn't really want to write something that had to do with the pandemic. I kind of felt like people were tired of content that had to do with COVID because there was so much of it. So I did write about it, but I don't mention COVID in the film. It's kind of like the unspoken like pandemic.
Yeah, the unspoken problem.
Yeah, exactly. But I think everyone knows what it's really getting at. But yeah, it's a crazy tough idea to grapple with, and I just wanted to explore that.
And what was the hardest part, and what was the most fun part
Hmm.
in this?
Um, well, we had quite a few challenges. One, the film was made on a very, very small budget of about $300 for the whole film, which anyone who's ever made a film knows that that is nothing. And so that was already difficult to begin with, but I made it work. One of the most difficult parts, though, was we lost our filming space about 75% of the way through shooting, and the whole film happens in the same location, in the same apartment. And so then I had to figure out how to shoot the final 25% of my film in a different location. Luckily, I had a friend who volunteered their apartment, and we just dressed up his apartment to make it look like mine to the best we could. And honestly, with editing and the way that we rearranged the shooting schedule, it worked out. I don't think you can really tell, but it was definitely very stressful in the moment. It was definitely very,
How,
very
how did
anxiety.
you lose, if you were shooting in your apartment, how did you
Mhm.
lose your apartment?
I had a very picky landlord who at one moment had given their blessing and then last minute decided to revoke that blessing. So we had
Is it
to work around.
relocate or lose your apartment?
Yeah, yeah. So couldn't do that. So we relocated and we made it work. I think you can't tell really at the end of the day, but definitely was very nerve-wracking. And honestly, I think the most fun part was, well, two things. One, doing the set dressing. I've never been a set dresser before, but I decided to take that on in this film just because I was interested in exploring it. And the film is very heavy in set dressing. And like I said, I was working with a very small budget, so I was having to get really creative. But I was really happy with how things turned out. And it was very fun getting to kind of do all these like DIY arts and crafts and make it look the way that I pictured it in my head. So that was very fun. And then also just the people I was working with were lovely, amazing people. I mean, my actors were great. My crew was great. It was a very strong crew because we were shooting in a small apartment and we already had a cast of four people. There was only four crew members total, including me. So I was doing, I was directing and doing the camera work, and then someone on audio, someone on lights, and then I had a costume designer who also doubled as a production assistant. And that was all we had. So it was
Classic
definitely
indie movie.
yeah, small but mighty, and it worked out. But it really was a great group of people, and I couldn't have done it without them.
It's always great when you run across a good crew.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the indie world, we all know we're not going to end up making enough money to buy mansions and private yachts.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. So,
No.
what would you consider success in the indie world? What does success look like in the indie film world?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's really different for everyone, but for me it's just feeling satisfied with my own work because I don't really want to do it for external validation. I mean, obviously that's nice. I'll always take it, but at the end of the day, if I can make something that I feel satisfied with and I feel proud of, then that feels like success to me. So that's kind of what I strive for rather than focusing on the external factors.
Okay. So, internal satisfaction.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. All right. So, your nephew walks over to you and goes, "Hi, Aunt Abigail. I want to be a filmmaker. I want to be an indie filmmaker like you." What would you say? What would be your What would be your answer to him or her or
Well, first
communities?
I yeah, first I would say make sure it's actually what you want to do because it's really, really hard work. And if it's not really what you want to do, it's probably not worth it. But if it's something that you can't live without, then I think you should be doing it. And that's how I feel about it. But I think my biggest advice to anyone who wants to make indie films is be very selective about the people that you allow on your set because at the end of the day, especially if you do have to have a smaller crew and you're working on a smaller budget and things aren't going to go as planned. I mean, they never do even on big budget stuff, but especially when you're working in the indie world, not everything's going to go as planned and you need the people who can roll with that and who aren't going to be shaken by that or aren't going to pitch a fit if something doesn't go the way that we all plan for it to. So, there's going to be stressful times. People are going to get stressed, but you need the people who can work with it and cheer you on and figure it out at the end of the day. So, that's how I've been able to manage to feel good and on set in those types of situations, and that's what I would advise anyone else.
Yeah, that's great. I've answered I asked all my questions. You have been awesome. You just went right along there. So you have any words you want to say, any closing statements, any comments you want to make?
Not much. I hope people enjoy the film and that they feel touched by it. I'm very happy with how it turned out overall. It was a difficult process, but it is a film that's very close to my heart, and yeah, I'm excited to make more.
Great. Thank you. The film is called The Globe Trotters, and it's going to be shown Thursday at 7:30 at the New York City Independent Film Festival, the Producers Club. Thank you, Abigail.